Explain to me what proactive security is.
Proactive security is a paradigm for continuous security assessment, identifying the security gaps in your environment, and activities would include penetration testing on a continuous basis, purple teaming exercises, proactive incident response like tabletop exercises, threat hunting, those types of categories of activities to really identify where are the gaps before the attackers identify them for you.
Instead of being reactive and instead of only fixing things that an adversary or someone else has identified for us, we're going to, just as Dan said, we're going to understand our environment and where our mistake surface or our attack surface exists. We're going to go address the things that we think in sort of order of priority that we should address. The nice thing is, if you're doing proactive security well, you're using what you would traditionally consider red team techniques to help you prioritize what you want to fix first or where you want to invest resources for the coming year.
So what is the grand difference between purple teaming, or we should call proactive security, and doing the CIS controls?
CIS controls are laying the framework for like how you should implement security measures and controls, right? So how are you are you configuring things correctly? Are you implementing policies? So purple teaming would be the actual validation that you've done those things correctly and helping identify if there's any gaps based on your implementation of those security controls.
I think that where mindset has shifted, before it was sort of like, great, there's a hack, we're going to deploy the patch, and then we're going to move on with our life. Now, when we build an alert or detection on top of some data source that we have, the engineers on the detection engineering team are writing smoke tests and alerts to make sure that the data that the alert is based on doesn't go away, that the alert still works. Just like we have evolved how we build software with all kinds of unit tests and individual smoke tests, we're doing that now for all parts of security, and that's healthy.
This comes from David Alkima, and he asks, how do you select your targets for purple teaming?
It's also like very synonymous with, hey, where do I get started in security? Well, let's start with our crown jewels. Let's start with what we think are the most valuable assets in our environment and make sure we've got those as buttoned up as we think we can have them. Then test those, right? Test the controls around what you've put there and then continue to branch out from there.
Dutch asks this question, and that is, what is holding back companies from actually adopting proactive security?
I think it's the misnomer that we don't have enough time or we don't have enough talent, right, to be able to do that. I think that the notion that we can start somewhere and it doesn't have to be a big thing. It can be small. I had a security team of about 5 people, and we just started with some simple testing techniques that helped teach our team how to do some of these red team activities. It doesn't have to be an expert red teamer, being very careful. But I think that's one of the biggest things that I've seen is just people thinking that, oh, we can't get there yet because we're not mature enough or whatnot. And I think it's just a mindset shift of like, no, I mean, we got to start somewhere, right? And let's just start small and do the crawl, walk, run scenario.
One question I want to ask is from Jonathan Waldrop. For third-party proactive security services, pen tests, what are some tips on vendor selection?
Yeah, I think ask for a sample report. I think getting third-party references from people that you trust, like who have you used in the past. I think in general is there's amazingly good pen testers out there, and then there are scan regurgitators, right?
If you're an IoT company and you're a public utility, don't get somebody whose expertise is web apps. You need somebody that has experience specifically in the thing that you're dealing with, because they're going to be able to give you the most feedback about how to fix the problems that they're finding, or how they compare to other people, and more importantly, how to prioritize those results.
What does a tabletop exercise tell you about your security program?
It teaches the people who are not part of security that they are stakeholders and they have a lot to contribute to security outcomes of the organization that are not just handled by me. And that's honestly one of the reasons I like them, because in a well-functioning security program, more security should be happening outside of the security team than inside the security team.
Continue to focus on where can you be more proactive in your security program and show the value that you're getting out of all the hard work that you're putting in on configuration and training and all those things. And yeah, check us out, PlexTrac.com. If you sign up and mention that you saw us here, we'll get you some free swag.
Look, reactive security is great, and when you can get the support of your org to do it, do it. But reactive doesn't have to be a bad word. It isn't a bad word, but it's a better word: proactive security. Find the things that you already know are broken and focus on those first. and prioritize those with your leadership team, they will appreciate it and your team will feel better. And I think this is a key part that Dan mentioned that I want to pull out. The morale of your team will improve because everybody enjoys when things are getting better.